What's up, guys? Welcome back to Digital Dive-In, the proper gaming talk show. We're your hosts, Sanjology and Jay Dibs.
What up?
KJ or Jesus Christ or whatever the hell his name would have been today. We should have asked him for his name, what he would have made for his name today. He's not with us today. He's
my man is river diving.
Yeah, he literally just woke up like half an hour ago. I look down like I have a watch. I'm not wearing a watch.
My man's swimming in the ocean right now. He's having a good time.
Yeah, he's chilling. So I'm like, you know what? It's fine. We got this episode anyways. I doubt he watched any Gamescom after the Xbox showcase anyways.
Opening live, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we're here to talk to you guys about the rest of Gamescom 2022 past the Future Game Showcase and Opening Night Live. So that basically just leaves us with the Xbox Showcase and Awesome Indies, both of which a lot of people were just tuned out for. I mean, Xbox didn't really show much more, anything new really. A lot of it was just deeper dives into stuff that they've already shown, which I called. And Awesome Indies, there's some standouts, but a lot of them look like your traditional indie games. So,
and beware for some rants. We each got one.
Yeah, we got. Well, I have at least two. I have at least two rants. One on the Xbox and one on Awesome Indies. I'm sure you got more, but anyways, there's not a whole lot from the Xbox. Starting off with the Xbox showcase, there's not a whole lot. There that I was like, oh my God, this looks so cool. I knew for sure they were not going to show anything about Starfield or Redfall. Not Redfall. Redfall and Avowed. I knew for sure they weren't going to do that, and they didn't. And those are their two biggest opening titles, along with Elder Scrolls and GTA, which of course we're not going to hear from. So, of course, Xbox went the way that they usually do when they have nothing to showcase, which is stealing other people's content or other people's games.
I won't say stealing.
It's not stealing. It's like Xbox does this thing, right? Xbox does this thing where they take games that are being released on all platforms and make it seem like it's their shit, which is greatly annoying. PlayStation doesn't do that anymore. They used to back when they were in E3 and Summer Game Fest and stuff like that. But now that they're just doing their, state of play events, they're only showing their games. Like, that's all they show is their stuff.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're showing other people's stuff, because now here's the thing, like if we're all a community and we all have two central times during the year to get all of your gaming information, that's great. But now everybody wants to pull out and do their own thing. Now everybody's all over the place. So I like the fact that Xbox is highlighting stuff, because otherwise certain stuff gets lost in the fray.
Well, the thing is, like, a lot of the games that they highlighted were games that were already shown off earlier in the conference. So, like, you got Lies of P, High on Life, Atomic Heart, all three of which were shown off way earlier in the Future Game Showcase and Opening Night Live. The only thing that they did was, open the conversation for the devs, which could have just been done through Gamescom themselves. Like,
yes and no. I feel like at the end of the day, I figured, but here's the thing, I figured it was going to be deeper dive, and that's exactly what I wanted. Like, yeah, I wanted, fine. And it's funny because, like, no matter what you give the gaming community, they're always going to complain. You want more detail about a game? All right, you got it. But then people are bored. You want, gameplay for, like, your games? All right. But then people are like, oh, well, it's not fucking interesting. And it's just like, well, what do you want? Like, nobody said that it was going to be gameplay that you were going to like.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Gameplay, less CGI, they gave it to you.
Yeah, and I'd much rather get that 100% all the time. More gameplay, less cinematic cutscene bullshit for, showing off a game. Much rather have that. And I have no gripes at all with, like, deeper dev dives, like, for the devs talk about their game, stuff like that. My issue is that out of, like, the 12 to 13 games that were shown off at the Xbox showcase, nearly half of those games aren't Xbox games. They're being released everywhere.
Right.
But they're just like, it plays best on Xbox. Look at this. I'm like, it's because you have zero content to offer.
Yeah, but they have the better hardware. So eventually,
dude, that hardware is exactly the same. I just had a conversation with someone about this on Facebook, and we talked about this before. I'm not getting into this again, but the hardware for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, the differences are extremely minuscule, and Xbox doesn't even handle their hardware that well, and their performance is lackluster because of it. Okay, like God,
this is great, man. They have 120.
Performance is fine. Their online performance is garbage. The online performance of the PlayStation is far better.
I can't attest to that because I don't have an Xbox. So
from what I've seen, anyways, from what I've seen, especially with like heavy games like Call of Duty, but I just am annoyed that like there's a reason that PlayStation has not done any of these conferences. All right, it's because they're taking their time with their stuff. They don't have a whole lot to show us, which is why they wait to do their own, showcase.
Let's be fair here. Everybody's leaving trying to be the lone wolf because nobody wants to spend the extra money in order to be put in somebody else's showcase. Which at that point you kind of lose the idea of what it's really about. It's not actually 100% about just showing off your games. It's about uniting the community and everybody get together and not be toxic to each other.
I woke up in a toxic mood, okay? No, but this also isn't me saying like Xbox or PlayStation is better than Xbox, blah, 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 whatever. I just don't like them like basically copying someone else's content and making it seem like it's their game. It's annoying for me. I think that's so stupid.
Well, I mean, they did the same thing with Street Fighter 6. They didn't say, hey, it's going to be on all platforms. They say, hey, PlayStation. Like when they revealed it, it was on a PlayStation showcase. It's not exclusive to PlayStation. So, I mean, PlayStation does the same thing. Like
But doesn't PlayStation own that company though? The devs?
Capcom? I said Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. Okay, never mind.
That's Street Fighter 6.
I was thinking Tekken.
Oh no, yeah.
I was thinking Tekken, but no. Okay, that makes sense. But I mean,
So yeah, I mean, everybody does it. I mean, and it's a way to like promote their brand and promote, hey, this will be better on PlayStation or whatever.
I don't like it when PlayStation does it either. Like I think it's stupid. Just let the devs advertise it themselves. Like I'd rather hear more from the devs than from a video game company.
But it's like the devs are like the locked away artists. Like you don't hear from them unless they can.
Capcom is not a locked away. They're a huge company.
Like half the time, like devs speak out. It's only after the fact, and it's like, oh man, we had a contract, so we couldn't say anything. Yeah. Or like, oh man, we couldn't. So like,
well, what's also weird is that like we saw half these games, like I said earlier in the conference. Like we saw them day 1 or day 2 of Gamescom. So why couldn't we just have gotten more information then?
Because it would have made the Gamescom like 3 hours.
It was already.
I mean, it would have made it. But it would have made it double the time. It would have made it. Who's going to sit there for 6 hours? I mean, I could sit there for 6 hours. I love video games, but like all these TikTok motherfuckers out here, they can't sit there for 10 minutes. So like. So, I mean, I like the fact that they did. I got to see more. The games that I got to see more of that I wasn't expecting. I got to see more of this game called Gungrave Gore. I think it's a remake of a PS2 game, and then it's got an anime out.
Is that in the Awesome Indies, or is that from the Xbox?
That was from the Xbox showcase.
Oh, interesting.
So that was cool. There was this game called Vikings on Trampolines that they showed off. And it's pretty much like a knockout brawler, but like you're on trampolines, you're on a Viking ship, and you get power-ups that kind of like thrown in, and it's like really cool. Yeah. And then the last one was, I was excited to see more on High on Life. We got a whole 25-minute, playthrough of High on Life.
I gotta I gotta really watch like all that stuff for High on Life because like,
it's so good.
I know. I'm like, it sounds like they're using the same voice actors from Rick and Morty too, are they?
Yeah, because it's Rick and Morty's studio. Like
yeah.
So like I appreciate it.
This is the first game that they've made or that they're making that actually looks interesting to me. The other game that they made a while ago looked okay, but
those Squash games,
they made one game before that was like kind of like a free roam or like a linear free roam game. It looked fine. I think I watched it on either Markiplier's channel or Jacksepticeye's channel. It looked okay, but I was like, I'm probably not going to get this. It was really funny though. This one looks just over the top, absolutely ridiculous, and I'm with it.
And also, Gun Jam. So this is what I like to watch. I like to watch the showcases all the way through, even the hour before, because sometimes they just shadow drop games.
They do. They really do.
So
during
the
initial talk show portion of it all,
like the countdown to the main show. So this is a game called Gun Jam, and it's a rhythmic FPS. These rhythmic FPS are just popping up everywhere, and I love it.
They are.
So it's a rhythmic FPS, but you do shoot on beat, but it's different from Metal Hellsinger, and it's different from BPM, where you have to use a certain gun on a certain beat. So you have to actually switch your gun according to
oh god,
what
that
coming up.
Fuck me
so
hard.
So if you got 4 pistols, you have to do 4 pistols, then a shotgun shot, then and it has to time
bam,
with
bam,
the beat.
bam, boom, bam, 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 boom.
Yeah. So
what the hell? Can you at least dual wield so you don't have to be switching? God.
I'm not sure. They only showed off 3 guns, but the guns were really cool though. So I mean that game got shadow dropped, so that looks good. So I was all in all happy. I think it's because. Another part of my rant is the expectations for games showcases has just exponentially gone out of the window.
I mean, it has to.
And then you got these YouTubers. I was watching a couple. Well, I was looking to see what the next showcase was. Some videos. I was watching. Some people were like, "Oh man, maybe we'll get this game here at Gamescom and this game here at Gamescom." And it's none of that happened. But you know what you did? You got everybody's expectations really high, and now everybody's
of course
they don't like Gamescom
the point, because they want them to hype up. Hey, maybe we'll see this game, and then it doesn't.
I mean, it's free content.
Yeah, exactly. But
and then there's yo guys, remember to keep your expectations low. But then they're yo, maybe we'll do that next Need for Speed at Gamescom. Right. It's just you can't. No, you can't.
I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't see many big bangers at the Xbox showcase, no Forza.
Yeah, some people were yo, maybe we'll see Mortal Kombat, or I'm relax, guys.
Well, no, they didn't really show off anything.
And then there's no Injustice 3. I'm was there supposed to be an Injustice 3?
Right, there wasn't even an hungry partner. I'm out this week, unfortunately. That was KJ. No, I don't know. I feel like they showed off the big hitters at Summer Games Fest. And I feel like that was I said last week that Gamescom was the biggest one, but I was wrong. Summer Games Fest was undoubtedly the biggest showcase this summer. Gamescom is just the remaining bullshit that they didn't feel like showing off at Summer Games Fest, or it wasn't ready for Summer Games Fest.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There's 3 reasons why people claim that the showcases aren't as good as they were even 5 years ago. People keep pulling out.
Yeah.
You got unrealistic expectations, and then because people are pulling out, all the big reveals that you expect to see at the showcase are now in these mini showcases.
Yeah.
And then the third thing.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the last thing is that things keep getting leaked out. If Dead Island 2 didn't get leaked, that would have been what the fuck moment at Gamescom.
Well, I didn't even see the leak, so I was still all I heard was rumors. But then I got the trailer. I'm oh shit, this actually looks good. I, again, still don't like the animation style that they chose for it, or the art style. Really not a fan of that. But whatever.
Yeah, it's weird because I was not a fan of Dead Island 1 at all. But
I liked Dead Island 1. I thought it was a really good game. It was the beginning of Techland, really.
Yeah.
So that was dope.
And that's the thing. I was in the Dying Light 1, but I'm not Dead Island. So
because Dying Light had a totally different vibe from Dead Island. Dead Island was more of a traditional, Rising Dead. Or Rising Dead?
I think there's Dead Rising.
Dead Rising. Sorry, it was kind of Dead Island was kind of in that type of idea, but then they took all the ideas from Dead Island 1 and made Dying Light, all the crafting abilities, all the weapons and everything. They just took from Dead Island and made Dying Light and added parkour, which made it fucking awesome.
It was dope, man. Yeah. Honestly, I couldn't get enough of it, So
and now we got Dead Island 2, which did not give us any gameplay, and it looks okay. It looks interesting.
Oh, the DLC? Yeah,
no,
the DLC.
No, I'm talking about Dead Island 2.
Oh, Dead Island 2. Sorry,
Dead Island 2. We had to reveal. We didn't get any gameplay, unfortunately, but
we did.
We did.
Yeah, they literally showed. They were like, "Hey, you guys want to see some gameplay?" And
I only saw the trailer. That's why.
They showed that whole.
I just watched all the highlights and they didn't have that one on, so I was like,
Oh no, they showed it like immediately after.
Oh, okay.
So
I had to go back and watch that then.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I mean, it does look really cool, but I'm just like, I do like the first one. I'm not gonna like this one.
Well, I do like that we're getting another more traditional zombie game, and I miss those traditional zombie games. Like Dying Light's fun, but it's all melee and parkour and running around, that kind of stuff. It's definitely not your traditional zombie game.
No, not at all.
Having another FPS, is it first person?
Yeah.
Sweet. I like having another FPS first person zombie game. I miss those games. More modernized, not so much like end of the world type of stuff, but like you can run in there with a gun and just wreck shit, and that's it's just a good time. It's just a good time.
You're missing your shotguns in Dying Light, aren't you?
A little bit. I really miss the guns in Dying Light. I like the bow. The bow was fun. The crossbow was dope. But like the pistols and rifles and stuff from the first Dying Light game, they were dope as hell.
They were. I was and it was such a power fantasy after a while.
Oh, it was.
Bitch.
You got that badass pistol that did that revolver that did stupid damage in the following DLC. I'm like, oh, this is dope.
I mean, we did get Dying Light DLC during this Gamescom.
Dying Light 2 DLC?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We got a trailer for that. So I mean,
what is the DLC for that one?
It's like a cage match a little bit, where it's just like you're in this like kind of battle arena and you're battling
like a multiplayer
everybody.
DLC type of thing.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. See, I want like some sort of resolution to the following DLC, because what they showed us at the end of that game was nuts. And I was like,
I didn't play the following. I don't think.
Dude,
yeah, I just played the
one of the coolest endings ever, and you won't see it coming. I'm just going to spoil it for you. He turns into a goddamn volatile at the end of the game.
Are you serious?
Yes. Like you meet up with a sentient volatile, and that's the final boss of the following. And then you get infected, and you turn into a sentient volatile.
Yo,
and it's like, oh shit, what does this mean?
That's awesome.
Right? We didn't get that in Dying Light 2. And
that's because Haran got imploded. Don't you remember?
well, depending on how you played.
Hey, I didn't beat it yet. I'm trying to beat it right now.
You still haven't beat Dying Light 2?
Nah. I've been in a slump for my computer games. It's so weird. I haven't beat Dying Light. I haven't beat Ghostwire Tokyo.
I only played it once because I wanted to get into it and see how it played. So much fucking fun.
It is so much fun.
I'm gonna play that game more around Halloween because I feel like it'll just vibe better. I'm still finishing up Horizon, so still one of my Game of the Year choices, by the way. Horizon Forbidden West, incredible game. Holy shit! Everyone should play that game. It's so good. It's long. It's long, but it's really good. It's traditional for your RPG, but
yeah, I mean it's good. Saints Row actually outsold everything this past week.
I'm surprised because that game looks so bad.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Bad.
And a lot of reviewers are saying how buggy it is. It's just a terrible.
Not even buggy. I could care less about bugs. Like I will forgive a game about bugs, but the story, the gameplay, the art style looks fucking bad.
The graphics don't look as bad as I thought it was going to be, but like the characters
don't look as good as they should. Put it that way. All right.
Yeah, the characters are very meh.
Saints Row 3 Saints Row 3 is awesome. You were the president. You had superpowers. It was dope as shit.
That was Saints Row 4.
That was 4.
Yeah, that was 4. Saints Row 3, I think you were still like a gangster. You do get superpowers, but I think you're still just like a gangster or whatever.
Oh, okay. Well,
I didn't play Saints Row 3 or 4. I played Get Out of Hell.
Get Out of Hell was so good.
So much fun.
So good. But no,
I loved
it. The new Saints Row game looks like they're trying to be like, outrageous and rambunctious, but it just looks like annoying instead of fun and wacky and crazy.
You know what's funny? I wish they would have made an Ages of Mayhem 2. I didn't finish Ages of Mayhem 1, but it was pretty fun. I liked it. I wanted to finish it.
Off topic, I want another Army of 2 game.
Yeah, oh my God, yes. I'm glad you said it. It would be so dope. That'd be dope. But the IP is never coming back.
It's not. Unfortunately. Those games were stellar, but yeah. All right, so anyways, on to the Awesome Indies Showcase. This is one I actually watched a good amount of. I have about 3 that look kind of interesting, and if KJ was here, he would kick my ass for my number 2, but I don't care because it looks fun to me, and that's what but you have a couple games too, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you mind if I just start off with mine?
Yeah, go for it.
The first one that I saw that looked really, really interesting is called Dome Keeper. It looks like you crash land on a planet. You're in like this dome.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah. I remember seeing
it's
that.
resource management, it's resource collection, and all that stuff. I love those games. They're so satisfying to me. And I'm like, this looks like it's just going to be a good time. It looks like a chill resource management game, and I'm with it. It looks great. I love the art style, like the little 64-bit stuff. Looks super cool.
That's really dope. Yeah.
The vibe looks really cool. Like the end of the trailer had like these, I don't know if they're aliens or what the hell they were. It was weird. It looks so, I'm just interested about that world too.
That is awesome. No, yeah, I remember seeing that. It looked interesting. What was your second? Or do you want me to
go for it?
Do you want to do one each? So I want to know. I'm interested to see if anything overlaps with us.
I think the one that my number 3 will, but we'll see.
I like this game called Worldless. It looks like you're like a celestial like entity fighting against other celestial entities, and it's
is that
really
the one with
cool.
the girl with the staff thing?
It's like you're like this all white kind of thing. You have like a shield, and you're fighting like celestial like.
Oh no, I didn't see that one.
Spirits or something. I think I'm probably talking about it incorrectly, but
explaining it horribly. Yeah, probably.
No, it looks really cool. It's a side scroller, and you're like fighting different like universes and people from different universes and stuff. So it looks really cool. Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick and explain it better. Yeah, okay. So like it's a 2D action platformer. Apparently with turn-based combat and interesting narrative, but no, it looks like it's action-based too. Like it looks really, really interesting.
I didn't see this trailer. That actually looks kind of cool. I like the art style a lot.
Oh, Worldless, yeah. It's really cool. See, like it looks like it looks like you're like some kind of celestial entity.
That looks really cool. I like that.
So that one was my number 1, or my first one that I saw that was really interesting.
These aren't like ranked for me. These are just the ones that I saw that looked interesting in the way that they were going. So.
I have a couple honorable mentions, but like you can go with your main number 2.
All right, cool. You're both gonna hate me for this one, but it's Brewmaster. Brewmaster looks fun as shit.
You suck.
I don't care. I don't care. I want to learn how to make beer, okay?
I saw that. I was like...
I'm like, it's beer. You're making beer. You can make your own beer.
But I can't really make my own beer, so I'm just going to be pissed at the end of the game.
I just find it, like, it looks like one of those really relaxing sim games where you can like just sit back and like experiment with shit.
All right. Well,
it looks that like that's why I play indie games. Right, indie games for me are games I can sit back, relax, and just chill with. This one looks like so chill, and I'm with it.
I don't compartmentalize games like that. Whatever's going to give me my action, my adrenaline racing, whatever's going to give me that $60 experience. And if it's in a $20 package, I am all for it.
No, that's totally That's totally
But no, so tangent on sim games. I know I come off and like I hate sim games, but they're like it's only if you're playing a sim game to actually learn a real world trade, that's actually pretty cool. Like if you're playing if you're playing Flight Simulator to actually learn how to fly a plane and take off and everything, like I'm pretty sure they use that to like
Flight Simulator does look kind of cool because
that's interesting.
It's the actual world. Like they map the fucking world. Flying it. That's kind of interesting.
So or like if it's like tech simulator or computer simulator, you learn how to build a PC. That's cool.
Goat simulator, you get to learn how to be a goat.
That's stupid. I'm not counting that.
No. So here's the thing: Goat Simulator, it's a joke of a game. Like, it's not an actual simulator game. It's a joke on simulators. That's literally what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, so like when you talk about Brewmaster, I looked at it. I was like, you know what? For a split second, it would be cool to play that, you know. But then I'm not spending money to.
Yeah, it's not going to be a game that I play religiously, or I'm like, I can't wait to get home and play Brewmaster, man.
If I want to learn how to brew beer, I will learn how to brew beer.
Blue beer.
You know. But like I can understand.
I liked how it looked. Yeah. I liked the graphics. It looked smooth. It looked relaxing. It looked interesting to me. And I'm like, oh, cool. I could like mix up, like, you know, experiment with like different flavors, different notes, different shit here and there.
If you could actually learn how to brew beer from this game, then respect. I would, you know,
be able to. I don't know how deep it goes, but
yeah, it's not a loss. You know, it's not like a, you know. So I give her respect. If you can actually learn how to brew beer, that's fine. I'll let you have that one.
Fair enough.
So I have a couple that actually got announced previously, but we just saw more about it. The first one will be Soulstice. Soulstice looks really good. It's that one that like it's that action. It's that like it comes off as like a hack and slash Devil May Cry type. It's you and your ghost sister, and like you're fighting
goat sister or ghost sister. I'm like,
you have your ghost sister, and like you're fighting to get revenge, and like it comes off like kind of like. It comes off like Devil May Cry, Nier Automata type. They actually said they took inspiration from Nier a little bit from this and Devil May Cry. So it looks really fun. I'm really interested to see more about it. They showed like a boss battle, like a 4 or 5 minute boss battle. So like it was really
Is
really
it another
cool.
side scroller, or is it more like a 3D plane?
No, it's a 3D action hack and slash game.
That's awesome.
Look it up real quick. I mean, I think you'll remember it because it did get announced I think it got announced during a major game showcase. Yeah, so I'm really interested.
It's like a JRPG almost, or like a J hack and slasher type of thing. Yeah, I saw that. That does look actually really cool.
What was your number two? Oh, what was your number three?
Number three, this one is actually the one that I most likely will end up getting, but it's Last Hero of Nostalgia.
I had that one too.
We overlapped. I knew we would. I figured we would. It looks like a great time.
It does.
It looks like
it's satire 100%
mixed with like Elder Scrolls.
It's so cool.
It looks so interesting.
I mean, combat just looks really intense.
It does.
It looks really intense and cool. I'm 100% looks like
it looks like a bare bones Elder Scrolls, and I'm with it. Like,
man,
the character is literally just a white tree person thing. That's it. It's it. That's all you are, and you put armor on like the stick person. I'm like, what? It looks so weird and wonky, but I'm with it. I'll play it for sure. It looks like a great time. Oh my god.
And then my last one, which is the one I'm most excited for, it got shown off at the latest Nintendo Direct in July. Okay. No. Sorry. It got shown off in the Nintendo Direct in January.
Okay.
Way back, like right back January, February. So it's called 9 Years Shadows.
Oh, I saw the trailer for that one. One looked okay.
It looked really good. They had the art style for the cutscenes looked immaculate. The fact that you can like switch elements like mid combat and switch it like go front to back, you know, and it's really cool. You got like fire, air, water, and
it looks like they're trying to like copy Castlevania.
Yeah,
Castlevania.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Metroidvania. It comes off like it's going to be a Metroidvania.
Yeah, for sure.
But it just, you're a woman in gold armor swinging around this halberd, and I'm just like, that's fucking dope. Like,
that one did look cool. That one piqued my interest too.
So I'm so excited for it. The art style looks clean as hell. It looks like you have a whole show about it, you know. And honestly, ever since Blasphemous, I've gotten back on my platformer side scrollers, you know, like they're really dope. I haven't played Dead Cells yet, so I need to play that.
I know, me too.
I'm there's like a good amount of side scroller indie games that I'm kind of waiting for right now. So
you actually just mentioned something that is kind of one of my gripes with the indies, the like indie games in general. Not so much like the ones that are being like showed off, being really hyped up and everything. Not like the super low budget indie games, but like these ones that are being shown off. They have enough money to reserve a spot to be shown off and everything. They all look the fucking same. Like 90% of these games looked so freaking similar. They're all 2D side scrollers. They're all in either like retro sense, or they're like hyper sci-fi fantasy. To me they just all look dumb similar, and it's just like, why? I miss the indie games that actually people put effort into, because like doing the 2D side scroller with like the retro art style, it's not hard to do. Okay, it's just not. Like, you could do a side scroller and bump up the graphics a bit. I mean, hell, look at Hollow Knight, one of the greatest fucking indie games in the world.
Whoa! God. Retro aesthetics is
fine. It's fine. But every single indie game that we saw at the showcase had the same art style.
No, it didn't.
90% of them did.
Some of them were pixelated, some of them were hand-drawn, some of them were more
90% of the 2D side-scroller action indie games had the retro style to them. And I mean, that's fine, but God, you're oversaturating that market. Holy shit. It's the same thing that happened with the horror or the indie horror games.
Most genres are oversaturated, my guy. I don't know what you mean.
Get it, but it's like it's too much. Like, God, it used to be interesting, right? That whole aesthetic used to be really cool. It's like, oh man, I miss this art style. That's gonna be so much fun to play again. But now every single indie side scroller game is in that retro style. I'm like, I don't care anymore.
That's like talking about AAA games and all of them want to be Last of Us, or all of them want to be Red Dead, or all of them want to be God of War, which is kind of true. Everybody's trying to make the most realistic thing you could ever realistically make, and it's just like, well,
I mean, photorealism has its place for sure, especially in AAA games, right?
You can say that about AAA games. Like, what happened to games that were cel shaded? What happened to games that were cartoony? They saved that for anime fighters. I'm like, I don't need that just in my anime fighters. You can put that into a AAA like first person shooter.
Usually cel shading is your Borderlands and whatnot. But like the games that you want to be like somewhat realistic, like you want them to look really, really good. Like, Red Dead Redemption, for example. Last of Us, for example. GTA has their own specific art style to those games. That's not really photorealism. It kind of draws on photorealism, but it's kind of different. Horizon has its own specific art style, which I really, really appreciate. They're not trying to be photorealistic.
It's like you could even Last of Us, perfect example. A lot of people don't like the new models that they used for the new part 1 because it made them look a little different, and they liked the old aesthetic style looking.
They literally only did that so they matched part 2. That's the only reason. I don't understand that. I've never seen a game make a sequel like years later and then go back. Except, even Spider-Man didn't do that. Spider-Man changed the model way after the fact, but that was just for their own shit. I've never seen a game that made a sequel years later and then go back and change the first game so it matched the second game. I was like, what kind of bullshit is this?
We want to have the integrity for this title.
My thing with indie games is like a lot of these games are just uninspired to me. They do the same thing that every other indie game does, and it's just like, okay, it's cool, whatever. It's going to be a fun game to play. It just looks just very samey, and that's my issue with a lot of. Sorry, that's my issue with a lot of horror indies as well. Horror indies have been pissing me off lately because the bulk of them are either one of two things: they're FNAF ripoff, they're Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff, or they're a PT game. They're one of the two. And it's so annoying. I'm like, the amount of fucking PT spin-off games that I've seen is like, okay, we get it. It's a loop that changes. Woohoo! I don't care. God, it's so annoying to see PT games everywhere. It's not even that interesting of a freaking concept.
No, I mean, I think the indie game showcase had a lot of different stuff, like, because a lot of it had the moving simulation games, then they had this game where it was just like you kind of had to. I think a lot of it was like just different styles of games. Like you had this one where like it was more like quick time events, and one that was about cards, and they had a lot of different stuff there. I think it's just that like a lot of people tuned out because like I said, they wanted Swan Song, they wanted Silk Song or whatever it's called. They wanted Hollow Knight Silk Song, and it's just like you gotta
there weren't really any big bangers in the Awesome Indies showcase. They're the same as the Xbox showcase. Zero big bangers.
It wasn't about having, and that's the thing. That's why.
Well, then
that's why people's expectations have gone out of the because it's like
okay. So here's the thing, though.
You don't need a big banger. Just find something you like.
Okay, so the very first night of Gamescom, we got a release trailer we got an announcement trailer for Dead Island 2. That's a game that everyone's been waiting on. That's a big fucking banger game, And then we got more shit for Atomic Heart, High in Life, and all that stuff. And then as the shows went on, they got less and less interesting. Like you started high, and then just went.
No, I mean I think. It wasn't, like I said, it's not about having a big banger. It's just about finding things that you like. And like that's the thing. Like there's no pride when it comes to like Summer Games Fest or Gamescom. It's just they're all just games. It just happens to be like this or that or this or that.
Well, the thing is like summer is usually a time when game releases are in a lull. Like that's when gaming is at its lowest, is in the summertime, because no new games are out. A lot of people are going out doing stuff, so people don't play as many games anymore. So it would be cool for these showcases to show off bangers to get people excited again. Instead,
why? They're not going to be playing anything.
No, for like people excited for like the Q3, Q4 releases. That's just me. Because right now I'm not excited for shit except for God of War. That's the only game on the horizon, like the foreseeable horizon, that I'm actually interested in.
That is the most basic bitch answer I've ever heard. Wow. And no offense to you or anybody out there that feels the same, but that is the most basic bitch answer ever.
What other games coming out this year?
You got Hogwarts Legacy got delayed. Yeah. You got Callisto Protocol, Sonic Frontiers, Playtale Requiem.
Get Sonic Frontiers off that list. Even you said the game doesn't look great.
Yeah, but it actually looks better after Gamescom, and everybody said so. So, and people that have played the demo at Gamescom have also reported good things. So, you got Sonic Frontiers, Callisto Protocol, Metal Hellsinger, Playtale Requiem.
When's Callisto Protocol coming out?
December sometime. I think it's December 9th or it's like right.
Kind of surprised it's not coming out around Halloween. That would make sense.
It's right. Yeah, it's right around Sonic Frontiers. I think they're coming out around the same time.
Oh, Callisto Protocol is going to destroy that game.
Probably, maybe
it's going to destroy.
I don't know. Sonic fans have been going since the '80s, so I think they're going to keep strong. I think. But no, so you got like 4 or 5 at least really big high profile games coming out. And then
I didn't think Callisto Protocol was coming out this year. I thought it was coming out next year. I thought it was coming out like February.
Oh no, yeah, they said it was like December or something.
Oh, no, okay, so I got 2 games.
And then High on Life I looked up High on Life, they announced that for December. So
did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm super surprised about that.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if that one gets pushed back.
That's going to be super interesting. But like, yeah, I mean, you got plenty of games coming out, and I think people are just too spoiled. I mean, to be honest.
Okay, so here's my take, right? Like, I don't have enough money to just drop on games constantly, right? So I'm looking forward to the games that I know are going to be freaking great.
I mean, that's fine, but don't bash it just because you can't
bashing
pay for
it.
No, not you. I mean, if that's other people's mentality, don't bash it if you can't pay for it.
I get it. I get like.
This is boring.
Gamescom is definitely designed for just dropping games, like announcing games, saying, "Hey, this game's coming. Hey, this game's in the process. Blah blah blah. Here's more information." It's not really like a banger fest like Summer Games Fest or E3. Like I kind of miss what E3 was, how E3 used to be. I miss it. It was like they made a big deal out of everything. Like when they announced, one of my favorite announcements from the E3 of the past was The Last of Us Part 2. That announcement was so cool. Like they had the orchestra, they had the music, they had the whole what's the word I'm looking for? Spectacle. And they made such a big deal of it, and it worked. It looked so good, and they showed gameplay, and I was like, it looked great, and the game was amazing. So I missed that. I miss stuff like that. Now they're just like shoving game trailers and gameplay down our throats, and not making a big deal of it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to talk to the publishers and you got to talk to the companies, man. Blame Sony. They're the ones
I feel
that
like they
out.
just took the pizzazz out of these gaming events. Like it's just like, here's another trailer. Here's a world premiere. Here's another gameplay trailer. Here's a word from our sponsors. That's all they are now, and this is like, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm bored. Yeah, you gotta blame the companies. Blame the companies. The companies are the ones there. Like this is, and that's the thing. This is our community. You want to complain about Gamescom not having any pizzazz or Summer Games Fest? Write a letter to Sony. Go march down Microsoft's door. Tell them to stop being fucking stupid and get back into the showcases. Just get back into the showcases. Like when you had the big.
I think at some point we are going to see another E3, a better E3, a bigger one. At some point.
Like when people pull out of showcases, when people pull out of showcases, you have nothing else to do but to fill it with other games and other things. Like, the same thing would have happened back in 2007 if Sony said back then, "Hey, we're going to stop doing this," and then Microsoft backed out, and then Nintendo backed out. Then what are you going to watch on E3?
So like here's my thing with Gamescom specifically, and all these like summer game showcases. We didn't need Gamescom. We really didn't. Nothing that was really shown here was that important to show at this showcase. Like we could have seen this anywhere else, and it would have been just as cool to see.
You just killed showcases and all games.
No, because Summer Game Fest was still great. Like we only really need one big showcase like E3 in the summer. And that's all we used to have was E3 in the summer in like July. And that's all we had. And it was great. They showed off all these games. Some hit, some not, whatever. But it was great. And now we get, and this is exactly what KJ said. Now we have like 4 or 5 different showcases in the span of like 5 months. And it's just like, you're just showing the same stuff, maybe a little bit extra. Little bit.
See my previous comments throughout this video.
I just think we could. That's my hot take. We could have done without Gamescom.
Literally,
especially when we're getting all like the Nintendo Direct, the State of Play, and Tokyo Game Show coming up in the next 2 months. We didn't need Gamescom. We just didn't.
I mean,
push back Summer Games Fest to July, and we're good. Make that the new E3.
And that's the problem with the industry. There's not enough showcasing of everything. You can't just take this one section.
Need to showcase everything.
Yeah, you do, because that's how you market things, so people know that you're coming out with things. This is how business works.
You need like all you really need for. I mean, I get like wanting to show off more and more of the game to get it hyped up, but then at a certain point you show too much.
Like, do you realize that? Do you realize that like over half of the indie games, or over half of games that
indie games, 100%,
or just indie games, or big or not. If it's not AAA, even if it's AA, even if it's A, even if it's indie, a lot of it gets shadow dropped, and I'm tired of getting shadow drop games. And I don't know about it for like 5 years, and then it's just like, well, it didn't get support, so I get the sequel, or it didn't get support. So like, I'm tired of all this shit.
Indie games, yes, I'll give you indie games. Give us like an indie showcase, in the summer somewhere. Cool, I'll give you that. But look at like, okay, again, example, God of War Ragnarok. They got a announcement trailer. We got some gameplay during the announcement trailer. It was announced a couple years ago, but we didn't see anything about it until this year when we got an release date for it. And we're probably not going to see anything else until like a month before it releases. That's it. That's all you need for like these big AAA games. You don't need to be showing off the game all the freaking time.
Yeah, but then people complain that they haven't seen another game, so they don't know what they want. I don't see anyone
complaining about not seeing enough God of War. I am good. I don't want to see a lot of God of War. I want to play the game and experience it.
Yes, that's exactly why every time something like a cover shows up or everything, there's a fucking headline about it. Because people have seen enough of God of War. That's a lie. Nobody's seen enough of God of War Ragnarok. If they came out with a trailer tomorrow, it would hit 2-3 million views in a day. Exactly. So
I'm not saying it wouldn't. I'm just saying we don't need it. For example, what did we see about Atomic Heart that we really needed to absolutely see that we didn't get at Summer Games Fest or that we didn't get earlier in Gamescom?
More in-depth explanation about what the game is to justify me spending $60 to $70 on it. I'll take all
did that in the combat trailer. They showed off the game. We got a story trailer. We got a cinematic trailer. We got a combat trailer. We got gameplay.
Like the games that are being quiet because they have nothing to show, and also because
I'm sure they have plenty to show.
I'm sure they don't because they don't want to spoil the game. They don't have they don't have a lot to like show as part of like something that's not going to spoil the game. I feel like it's going to be lit from start to finish, so they have to be careful of what they show. So maybe they don't have a lot to show, if you know what I mean. They don't have a demo ready. They don't have, so like you have to think about it. And as far as marketing, like a lot of these games getting shadow dropped, I would really like to know. I'm obsessed with games. I'm obsessed with video games. Too. I can talk about video games till I'm blue in the face. Absolutely. So like if there's a game coming out, even if I'm not into it, I want to see it so I can know if I'm into it or not. Like that's just the fact about it is. The fact that we're getting on these mini showcases, because like I said, everybody keeps pulling out and trying to do their own thing, which means that you got to fill the showcase with something. So like they take these lesser known games, put it in here, hype them up with world premieres and trailers and stuff. They probably give them a discount on marketing and give them a discount on getting into the showcase in the first place. So we can have something to show and we can have something to come together for. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, honestly, pulling out of a showcase to me as a company is pretty selfish. Like, it
is and it isn't, but that's a conversation for another time. We can definitely have a full conversation about that, and we might after the next PlayStation State of Play. But
so like, because imagine if like the PlayStation showcase from earlier in the summer was in Gamescom. That shit would have been fire. You got a Street Fighter 6 reveal at Gamescom. That would have been fire. You got all the High on Life reveal put in Gamescom, that would have been fire, So like, it's because of these companies pulling out and doing their own selfish thing, and then it's just like then it takes away from the consumer, and they're supposed to be for the consumer, right? This is the business for the consumer, for the gamers.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just about filling space, really, at this point. Like all these different Nintendo Direct, State of Play, Tokyo Game Show, all these summer game shows, like they're just about filling space over a time when there's not a whole lot of gaming. So I get it, but at the same time, like I said before, we don't need them all. Like you can put them into one big ass showcase, and that would do just as well.
Hey, that's what we've been asking for, but companies won't get their heads out of their asses. So, like, what do you want?
Bring back E3, okay? Bring back the real E3, the one in person with all the spectacle and everything.
I mean, I agree. We're on our way to turning 30. You're going to be starting a family soon. You're moving down to Mexico. Like, I got to get my shit together and start on working on my stuff. I can't be sitting here plotting calendar days for like different showcases.
Especially when all of them are like multiple days. And for like
oh my god, yes,
at a time, like okay, when I could just take a week and
just a week, watch it all,
and
like
be good.
Something every day.
Some interviews here and there, go for it. That's fine, but we don't need a whole freaking thing just to do that.
So I mean, make it a 5 to 8 hour thing every day for a week, and then once a year, and then be done with it.
That's what we had at E3. And
yeah, it was beautiful. And then people had the audacity to say we didn't need E3 anymore. I'm like, yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. And I might have been one of those people, but yeah, no. Now that I'm seeing like all the freaking different showcases that we were having, we need E3 back. And then we're going to be seeing even more for all the games that were announced for next year. We're going to see all that shit again at the Game Awards.
Yeah, to hype.
We're going to see every single thing that we saw. We're going to see more High on Life.
No, because
more Atomic Heart.
Because last game
not High on Life. We're going to see Atomic Heart. We're going to see Liza P. We're going to see, we're going to see all that shit. We're going to see
because last Game Awards, the last Game Awards were all world premieres.
True.
They were all world premieres. So I think they're going to show something completely new, and they're going to throw a curveball in there.
Did they have Gamescom last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't have one of the things last year. I forget what it was. I forget what it was. We had like one less showcase last year.
I can't not remember.
We didn't cover it, but either way. Guys, what do you think about all these showcases? Do you think we really needed Gamescom? Or do you think that all the information that was given and all the stuff that was shown could have been done at the Summer Games Fest? Let us know all your thoughts, and let us know what you thought about the games that were shown off at the Xbox Showcase and the awesome indies, anything that you liked. Let us know all your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And check us out on all social media platforms and podcasts as well. I have not been uploading that. I probably should. Because we weren't getting a whole lot of hits. I'm like, is this really necessary? I guess we should.
Yeah, you should. You never know what it could take off.
Exactly. So I'm going to start doing the podcast again. Probably not this week, probably next week. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff, like backlog of stuff to upload to the podcast. So
gaming community, remember, you can't have it both ways. Either you're going to have a lot of games and have the risk that some of them you might not care about, or you're going to have it be a desolate island and not nobody talk about games, period. So pick one. Stop being spoiled and stop raising your expectations. It's annoying.
Thanks so much for watching. Stay excellent. I will see you in the next talk show. Peace.